Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. The CDL's back in action for the second week of qualifiers for Major 1 and loads of great matches today. Game 5 round 11s, New York in action with Royalty. Lots to dive into today. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new as always, I'd really appreciate it. And firstly, we've got to talk about ranked play because before the matches even kicked off, there was a kind of a pre-stream with Daniel Sai, some of the guys from Track that had actually worked on this, and also Simp and attached from the pro side. Even Clay, I believe, had said that a lot of the pros had been in discussion with the devs to make this the best ranked system we've ever seen in Call of Duty. Of course, arguably on one of the worst games we've had for competitive play at the very least, but still, like, this is honestly fantastic. Really excited for this. I think it's just fantastic stuff. There's a lot to say really on this, but the key one to me is, and I think we'll talk about it in more detail tomorrow, is yes, the ELO system is back in business, at least as far as we understand. There's kind of, masters, challenges, this type of stuff as well, as there has been a few years ago, but also associated with that is an SR or a skill rating, which is a number that shows how good you are. This is superb. Like, this is something we've wanted for quite a long time now. Honestly, all the things they talked about it seemed really positive. Very excited for this. Finally getting a good rank play system in the game, hopefully. It launches, I believe, on the 17th, which is slightly later than we thought it would be, so delayed by another couple of days. But, look, whatever. It is what it is. Hopefully this is better, and in future years they can build off this. And if anything, the kind of thing I'm more positive about here is because Treyarch worked very closely on this, like, with Sledgehammer to actually develop this. You would think that maybe Activision thinks, okay, Treyarch did a great job here. The community liked it. If, of course, they listen to what we have to say on this type of stuff, and it actually does turn out to be pretty good, then Treyarch could continue to work with future developers to put the same thing in, hopefully earlier in the cycle. So it seems like our feedback on this issue and the fact that we wanted an ELO has got through to the right ears, and the pros have actually been consulted. So definitely a lot of positives, I think, to take away from this one. This also from the Subliner side, Royalty officially confirmed to the starting team earlier today, and of course we'll check out how they get on towards the ends when we discuss their match up against Los Angeles Thieves. Firstly, let's talk about this. Paris versus Boston Bridge. It does seem like teams to some degree are settling into kind of where they're going to be in the pack for the upcoming season. Boston here were seemingly comfortably the better team in this series. Game 1, well, honestly, it wasn't particularly close, really. They win at 250 to 150 or something along those lines. Game 2 as well, Boston Breach have a pretty monstrous advantage. They end up closing this one out. But yeah, look what you see right here from Temp. So I thought really that this issue with the aim assist through the walls was only really a problem on Desert Siege. Of course, we saw the likes of Cellium abusing it quite a lot. But Temp is, well, he's not hiding anything right here. Of course, like, at this point, Temp is 1 in 7 in the game. They're already down 1-0 in the series. So, maybe, okay, fair enough. Like, he's going to use this stuff through the wall. But still, like, people are obviously talking about this because people said the other day, like, come on, you really shouldn't be trying to get aim assist through a wall. In fairness, in this case, doesn't really seem to work too well because he tries to do it and still doesn't work out for him and he gets killed. So I guess, that's karma in a way that, he tried to abuse this. But to be fair to Temp over the course of the series, seemed like by far their best player, right? I feel kind of bad for Temp in a way because it feels like, once again, he's a pretty solid player on a team that really just isn't performing. The slaying from the rest of the guys really nowhere near. And, look, what do Paris expect when they build a roster like this? But, Boston Breach come out. Game 1, to be fair to Capsule, he went like 37 in 20 or something pretty ridiculous. But, yeah, people were certainly talking about Temp doing this again. I guess, look, we want this to be fixed, but at the same time, players should maybe avoid doing this. Like, obviously he's down a lot in the series already, but not really an excuse. I think a lot of people would say. This also in the control rates are down 2-0. The control is pretty ridiculous because Capsule had one of the worst individual maps you're going to see so far this year. I think Dylan Cod towards the start of last year had a similar stat line. Cap goes 14 in 33 in this control. Like, in fairness, with an MP40 on Gather 2, can be pretty tough. TJ, though, drops 44, the most kills I think we've seen so far in control for the loss on the Boston side. They lose this map, they go down 3-2. They do, in fairness to them, finally close it out in the final hardpoint, and yes, 3-1 over the Paris Legion, just as your boy predicted. We love a 3-1 fashion. The fact that Capsule had such a bad control and still went positive in this series is pretty respectable. TJ as well, definitely want to give credit to TJ, because he started out this game very promisingly, which I think is certainly a good sign for Boston fans. And on the Paris Legion side, kind of a business as usual, really. Temp actually, again, it has 100 kills, most damage in the lobby, but still, they can't win a series. It's looking tough for Paris Legion already, but still, we doubt they're going to make a roster change because they don't want to spend any money. We'll see how things go. This series was absolutely absurd. Minnesota Rokkr versus Seattle Surge. I was really excited for this one. I thought it would be a 3-1, but I thought if it goes game 5, which it very well could do, with Minnesota's Search and Destroy being so good right now, it's going to be an absolute barn burner, right? These teams are playing really high-level Call of Duty, and game 1 went the way of Seattle Surge. It was a crazy hardpoint. They just about got the better of Minnesota in. Then game 2 was a Search and Destroy. This is where the Minnesota Rokkr here on Berlin just seem to be so strong, attached with the sniper rifle making plays. It goes all the way to game 5. Seattle win a crazy control. They're up 2-0, I believe. It really felt like they were going to close it out. Then Minnesota win an offense on Tuscan, goes the way to game 5. Seattle are pretty sure clutch up another offense to win that game. They then lose the next hardpoint round, and that's the thing with Minnesota. Last year, they'd get to the point in the series where they're kind of down 2-1, needing to win the fourth hardpoint, or the fourth map on the hardpoint, and then they would just lose it. This year they seem to have that ability to win that game 4 and take it to a game 5, where they have obviously been so good for so long. And I mean, this is just the most ridiculous way to win this game 5. I believe it was 5-4 Minnesota were up in an advantage here on this Tuscan, and then of all people to leave in a 1 versus 2 is accuracy. This guy, we call him the Earthman for a reason. I honestly, when I saw the way this was being played out, I really thought it was going to be so hard for accuracy to win this. The position of the bomb, like the Minnesota guys, they backed up, they played it slow, they played it together, and accuracy makes a phenomenal play right here. Look, no doubt the two guys on Minnesota probably should not split up, right? Because accuracy gets the bomb down a B, it's a 1v2, game 5, round 11. There's no one in the entire world I would rather put in this situation than accuracy, to be honest, and he just proves it. Priestahh was expecting him to play on this head glitch back here, but he deliberately plays in the corner, which means that Priestahh checks the head glitch, thinks, okay, he's not here at all, then Priestahh runs past. Accuracy also makes an incredibly intelligent play, I think, just leaving him to run past, because honestly, they could both have been here, and accuracy might have been able to get the second one, but finally he realizes, okay, it was only one guy here, takes the first guy out, 20 seconds on the bomb, and it just makes a fantastic play to win the round against Maniak. So this is just, you kind of felt this one was coming, right? And accuracy, 1v2, game 5, round 11, like, I mean, yeah, this guy just does it again, right? And this is the difference, right? Not only are the 3 guys he has on his team incredible talents that can slay out and win games, but when you need him to, put accuracy in a situation like this, game 5, round 11, and he'll win the 1v2 for you, right? It's just remarkable how he does it every single time. What a series that was, to be honest. And well, loads of reaction to this, as Octane says, when he saw accuracy was in that 1v2, he knew it was over at that point, and it really felt like, especially when he got that bomb down, that he was at least a 50-50, maybe even like 60% favorite to win it, just the way the Minnesota guys were setting up. This I also thought was kind of funny, because Drama said, any bets on Rokkr Surge? I got Rokkr, he says, hope you lost your $100, says Simp. So nice to see a little bit of personality and passion on the timeline from Simp. He admits he didn't play great this series, but of course they still got the job done anyway. And as Gunless says, if I ever run away from my teammate 5-5 2v1, I'm going into retirement. And again, there's some Mike Jones, you know, they thought they were Scooby-Doo, the way they split up to look for clues. Didn't work out for them in the end. But well, let's go on to the third series of the day. That was Ultra versus the Los Angeles Guerrillas. And an interesting series, to be honest. All of the maps in this series were very close indeed. Felt like a Los Angeles Guerrillas certainly put up a fight. The game 1 on Bacage, I mean, honestly, it's just absolute chaos, isn't it? Like, I can't believe what I'm watching half the time. But Toronto just about got over the line. Pretty sure it went down to time in the end, like they won by 6 points or something remarkable. But then we go into the search and destroy. Again, this search was interesting, especially because Huke had a monster game right here. He had 15 kills. He had like 14 kills in the first 7 rounds or something. But I mean, Toronto were up 5-2. So it's like, okay, no one on the rest of the Los Angeles Guerrillas guys was really performing. Slasher was honestly kind of nowhere to be found. And I mean, yeah, unfortunate stuff. Insight hit some nice shots right here to win this round as well. So yes, at the end, this is kind of a turning point really, where Huke was having a great game. Insight just does not miss, goes up 3-2. That gives them an advantage they will not rescind. And then the series ends after 3 maps actually. Another very close control. It really felt like Toronto were going to walk away with it 3-0. But LAG win a nice offense. They come back with a defense. But Toronto just did enough to get defense the final round. They hold on. They get the job done. But given the fact they won this series 3-0, the slaying of course was not convincing. This is sometimes what Toronto do. Gunless had a great series. But again, on the other side of things, just not working out quite for Los Angeles Guerrillas right now. In terms of slaying, they weren't really too far off the pace. I'm pretty sure they got outside by, what is this, 14-17. They only got outside by 4 kills in a 3-0 defeat. So shows they were close, but they're still not quite what it's going to take. And a bit of trash talk we like to see on the timeline right here, because LAG come up with the skill divisions that's going on, and then Toronto say, you know, skill divisions contenders, Los Angeles Guerrillas, the master up here of Ultra. And well, as Slasher says, lol, GG's Toronto. I imagine we may see more from Los Angeles Guerrillas if their bad form continues into the next couple of matches. But let's move on then to the final series of the day. The new New York squad up in action against Los Angeles Thieves. Royalty in the team for the first time he's played in the league for a very long time. He was back on even 100 Thieves right before they were Los Angeles Thieves. Way back in the Black Ops 3 days when they had this prison jersey. But yeah, Royalty back in the league. Interesting stuff. Difficult situation from him really, because he's playing from Toronto right now, or at least I'm pretty sure he is playing from the Toronto facility, because he's in Canada, right? Like the visa, getting the visa sort of a major one, I imagine there's going to be quite some complication. And I would have thought that maybe Subliners would have considered this as, I imagine maybe they did consider it. But of course, I thought the idea was making this what some people consider to be a very rash move. Is like, okay, well, at least we'll come through, Royalty will come in, give us a better chance at doing well in these league games. But of course, if he's playing from Toronto, the rest of the team in Texas, I believe, like, it means the servers that Royalty's playing on are just nowhere near, like, good for him compared to where the rest of the team are, right? So it puts him in a really tough spot. And it means that in the respawns, like, he's kind of liable to getting fried. In fairness, this series, towards the end of it, he actually turned up massively. But this game 1 was not pretty at all. Like, Royalty went double neg. Like, it wasn't the greatest showing, let's be honest, given the fact that, yes, to be fair, he had way more engagements than a Neptune was putting up. But still, like, the stats-wise, like, once again, it wasn't really pretty for New York in this game 1 here on the Bacage. Los Angeles Thieves, they pull away early on. They maintained that advantage towards the end of the game. This was the overall series stat line as well. I mean, look at this, right? So I think it was Hydra 37-30, Royalty 19-35. Just not pretty, really. Clayster went negative as well. Like, doesn't really look too much different in the scoreboards from what we saw when Neptune was in the team. To be fair to Royalty, he had a massive regain on the game too. Like, even Subliners say, right, did he spare Bell Fiber for our boy? Because that's kind of the thing. Like, playing on this ping situation from Toronto is not ideal. Not sure what they're going to do really about this Vita of a Major 1. And then you've got to consider as well the fact that, okay, well, hang on a second. If he's playing from Toronto, the rest of the guys in Texas, that's making these online qualification matches even worse than maybe they were before with Neptune with them in person. So, there's obviously a lot of complications to consider here for New York, but definitely doesn't seem to be on the face of it initially necessarily particularly good for their prospects here in, of course, what is a very difficult bracket for them to qualify. Of course, well, as the Subliners point out, the 80 ping Warrior right now, that's kind of the ping he's playing with on the server they're playing, because Los Angeles is based in LA Thieves against the guys in Texas, right, for New York, and then obviously Royalty up in Toronto. Like, the server they're going to play on for that match is not going to be good for Royalty at all. But to be fair to him, he bounced back massively in the Search and Destroy, was very impactful here for New York, honestly. And Octane once again with the sniper. I personally think, for my money, Octane's the best sniper in the game right now. He's getting pick after pick. Like, he seems to use it better than pretty much everyone else. Very consistent, hitting his shots, and help Los Angeles Thieves get an early advantage here. But to be fair, Royalty made some great plays. Like, he has some really crucial rounds. They go to a round 11, and it's actually New York who win this Search and Destroy. But it does really feel like, and of course respawns are 3 out of the 5 game modes in a series, that the respawns are going to where the struggles are going to come in with Royalty in this ping situation, especially with how things are going. And well, Hydra makes a nice play right here, ends up going up 5-4. They close out this game as well, and 3 from Royalty in this round as well. So there's definitely some great plays from the Subliners guys to at least tie up the series. But from then on, it didn't really work out in their favor. This game 3 especially was pretty ridiculous, really. I mean, look, Los Angeles Thieves on Gamma 2, they're going to be a difficult team to beat on this map. Yes, in theory, New York also have some pretty good AR presence, but Los Angeles Thieves just dominate on that front. Octane, Kenny, these guys were just having a field day, to be honest, in this game. Kenny was going off on the main stage. Like, this is kind of vintage New York, at least for what was in the last couple of games, getting severely outslayed. Like, Royalty actually doesn't have the worst KOD on the team by any means. It's Hydra who was kind of getting ultrafied. But, the final offense as well that Los Angeles Thieves won, they completely bowled over the Subliners defense. Not a great sign. And in fairness, this final Gamma 2 hardpoint was a very close fought affair. I honestly thought it was completely chalked for Los Angeles, or for New York Subliners at the start of the game, because LA Thieves went up like 90-5. But in fairness, Crimwick started off like 1-9. He bounced back to like 10-11 or something. So he made some great plays towards the latter half of it to really bring New York back into the game. And I was quite impressed that New York at least kept this one close. But look at this from Drazah, right? He flies off the top rope, gets 2 kills with the pistol, almost gets Royalty, Royalty, helps get the kill there. And that was the crucial game, the crucial game-winning play to close this out for the Los Angeles Thieves. But yes, very interesting series. New York, I feel like, looked slightly better here. But just with the Royalty situation and the liabilities and the respawns, that contributes to them losing 3 respawns here to Los Angeles Thieves. Not the recipe for success really for this New York squad. And now they are 0-3. Pretty much, their chances of getting to winners bracket at this point for the major are very slim indeed. Whether they can even get Royalty there, that's another question. Stats-wise, once again, not particularly pretty. Royalty here, 0.73, but then again, a lot of that is dragged down by that disappointing first map, and the rest of the guys, once again, going severely negative. The entirety of Los Angeles Thieves significantly in green. It's certainly not a recipe for success for New York Subliners this season, and well, as Clay finishes out with, GG's lost to Los Angeles Thieves. But very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tell us the YouTube gods, it's a good video, I'd also like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.